Welcome aboard, folks, to another episode of Films with Ferrell. In today's episode, we dive into Outer Range. Outer Range right now on Amazon Prime. Season 1 in full is out now for your consumption. Quick side note, Amazon Prime actually doing a lot of bigger things than just making sure you get packages on time. They're stepping into movie and television production, and they're actually making some pretty quality stuff here. So again, Outer Range, Season 1 out now. In today's episode, we're going to dive into Outer Range. Just a little bit more, no spoilers, just to see if this is going to be something that you are going to be into. All right, welcome to Films with Ferrell. Enjoy the show. All right, folks, before we get started, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. Stay up to date on all things Films with Ferrell. Outer Range. As I mentioned, season 1 out now on Amazon Prime. Only 8 episodes for this season 1, so a little bit different than we're used to on streaming sites. Typically, you're going to see about an 8 to 12 on streaming sites. In season 1, we're only seeing 8 episodes. Another important thing to mention as well, this show has not actually been picked up for a season 2 yet. Personally, looking at the star power and the story, I do think it's going to be picked up for a season 2. So I feel good enough to put my certified fresh on this to make sure that you can get invested in this and you wouldn't have to worry about a show getting canceled. So again, Outer Range, interesting story. It follows the Abbott family. Okay, the Abbott family lives on a farm in the middle of BFE, Wyoming. And the head rancher, Royal Abbott, actually finds a mysterious hole on the edge of his property line, right? It's a hole that seems to go on forever. It's got a mystery about it. He puts his hand in there, gets some deja vu going. So you got some mystery, some suspense, some thriller type categories in there. Star power, we're looking at Josh Brolin, okay, from the Goonies, a lot of other things, but you gotta love him from the Goonies. Lily Taylor, Imogen Poots, and Tom Pelphrey. Tom Pelphrey, fresh off of his 2-season as Ben Davis in the show Ozark. He played Wendy's brother. Absolutely fantastic role. So I thought Poots and Pelphrey absolutely killed their roles in terms of acting. There were a lot of good performances, but it kind of had that Western feel. Obviously, everyone's walking around Wyoming with some cowboy hats, but these two with their acting and the scenes that they did together and separately, thought it was absolutely fantastic. Tom Pelphrey, just out of nowhere. He looked very familiar in Ozark and brought just a whole other type of character vibe to that show. And here, pull up the IMDb after I watched this show. My dude was in Guiding Light. Now, for those of you that might have lived under a rock or maybe didn't have mothers that watched soap operas, Guiding Light was a show that ran for many years, a soap opera, one of the first. And here, Tom Pelphrey was playing a character in there for like 197 episodes. I used to watch Guiding Light every day from 3 to 4, or 3 to 3:30, something like that, before I would deliver my paper route with my mom. So it's like, to see him kind of come from that to this, he even played some great emotional characters in Guiding Light. After I saw that, it clicked. I was like, I know him. But story is pretty decent. I thought the actors and actresses did a great job in terms of making this thing actually happen. In terms of the overall show, I'm going to give it maybe like a 7, generously maybe a 7.5, but I would say more on the side of 7. It was a middle of the road show. I didn't binge this all in one sitting whatsoever. I spread it out throughout the course of a couple of days. The episodes just really ran long in length. Now, when you're thinking about mystery, when you're thinking about a big hole in the middle of Wyoming that can maybe have some sort of power attached to it, you think that we would talk about that black hole a lot more, but really, we didn't start talking about that a lot more and kind of uncovering a little bit more about that hole until like the last couple episodes. So some of these episodes did drag a little bit longer. Again, mystery, thriller, suspense, some great acting, but it does lag. It is slow. It's not something that you're just going to sit in one sitting and just crush. In my opinion, I'd still recommend it though. I mean, it's a pretty decent show on Amazon. Not, I just listed 2 other great shows in my last 2 episodes, but this is something else that you can actually sink your teeth into. Again, the last 2 episodes, in my opinion, were probably the best of the season. I really wish that Amazon, even though I'm saying, hey, it dragged, I wish they would have extended this to about 10 episodes. We could have got a little bit more bang for our buck, uncovered a little bit more. But overall, decent show. It's not something that's going to knock your socks off like the last two reviews that I actually completed, but it's something that is pretty good, especially if you're into sci-fi, mystery, suspense, drama, thrillers, and up for some good acting by, again, those characters that I just mentioned, those actors and actresses. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I do envision seeing a season 2 pop out here pretty soon. At least news that it gets picked up. But yeah, if you're looking for a good show to sink your teeth into, I would say Outer Range would be up your alley. Again, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but it's, decent. Again, 7.5. I really didn't like it as much as the last two that I reviewed, but it was still a decent show that you can kind of get into when you're waiting for another episode of another show to pop or something like that. But that's all the time for today, folks. If you like what you see, again, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. Stay up to date on all things films with Ferrell. I would love to hear from you in the comment section below as well. I know each week, some of you guys are popping off watching the shows that I'm recommending and absolutely loving them. Some kind of like, maybe we agree, maybe we disagree. But if you watched Outer Range, or if you are watching Outer Range after you see this, I'd love to know your thoughts on the show. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Until next time, we'll catch you later.